Alright, I think we're good. Welcome. If you are receiving this video, that means that you have been invited to the Los Pollos Hermanos family. Bienvenidos, eh? Now, before you can be inducted into our wonderful communion, you first need to learn some ground rules. In order for you to receive such a beautiful view as this, you first need to know our history. You see, a show came out not that long ago. A little show called Breaking Bad. Now, very, very bad show because it portrays us in not a good light. No, muy mal. But it is very informative, no? Very informative. You can learn lots from it. So, I give you one final test. You watch this video, and you can be one of us, huh? Take a look.
Breaking Bad. This show hardly needs an introduction. Its name is adorned with critical acclaim and simple acclaim alike. But why? Why is a show like Breaking Bad adorned by all? Is it the humble origins of such a show? Is it the various themes the show displays throughout its run? Perhaps the diverse cast of characters who teeter the line between good and evil? Or maybe even the representation of minorities in major roles within? I jest. It's all of them. So come with me as we dive into the cultural significance of this show and try to find out what makes a man break bad. In order to truly understand Breaking Bad, we must know where it came from. Enter Vince Gilligan, American screenwriter and main creator of the show. In the early 2000s, Gilligan is found to be in quite the pickle. Currently unemployed, he found himself on the phone with Tom Schnauz, a producer that he worked with on The X-Files. Gilligan puts it best here.
I was on the phone with a buddy of mine, Tom Schnauz. We were truly worried about the fact that we didn't have much in the way of income coming in. I wasn't working at the moment, neither was he.
The X-Files had just concluded, and the pair were worried about their future. Gilligan joked about becoming a cashier at Walmart, but Schnauz took a more drastic approach.
And then he said, "Why don't we just pool our resources, buy an RV, and put a meth lab in the back?" I don't know what it was, but suddenly I was intensely intrigued. I'm not sure where it came from, but the idea of a guy who would do such a thing, an otherwise good man doing a reprehensible deed in order to save his family, that was the early impetus.
To think, a show as monumental as Breaking Bad stemmed from a phone call. Talk about starting from the bottom. But now that the stage is set, we must assemble the players. The actor to play Walter White, protagonist of the show, was an easy pick for Gilligan. Bryan Cranston. They had already worked together on The X-Files, and when Gilligan approached AMC to get Cranston on board, Gilligan fought for him. Similar story for the actor of beloved Jesse Pinkman, Aaron Paul. Aaron was almost turned down during a screen test, but Gilligan intervened. Gilligan even threatened AMC, saying, quote,
"I'm not doing the show unless he's the guy."
One final example is Giancarlo Esposito, the man who plays Gustavo Fring. Esposito, prior to Breaking Bad, was in financial turmoil. Being a family man with 4 kids and nearing bankruptcy, Esposito faced the dreadful decision of taking his own life so that his family would get the insurance money from his death. Gilligan then came along, saw potential in Esposito, and thus created the cold and calculated Gus Fring. As the development of the show would go on, more and more characters would join the stage. But what challenges and situations would these characters face? There are many themes shown in Breaking Bad, but they are all shadowed by moral ambiguity. The show loves to throw this idea of Gilligan's. What would happen if an everyday man were pushed to the point of desperation?
This is not meth.
This idea is integral to the development of the show's plot, and is shown no better than the pilot episode. The episode starts with Walter in a seemingly unexplainable situation. He's driving an RV through the desert, in his underwear, in a gas mask, all while there are seemingly dead people soaking in the goo. But as the episode goes on, and we know more and more about the dire situation that Walt and his family are in, we are given context to this madness. We find out Walter White has been diagnosed with
Lung cancer.
and the treatment for it costs way more than he and his family can afford. So after hearing about the profitable practice of drug dealing from his brother-in-law, he turns to drug dealer and former student Jesse Pinkman.
And me.
Together, they create and try to distribute the drugs in a deal that goes very,
Hey.
very wrong.
I know you. It's a damn shame.
Wait. I'll teach you my recipe.
Remember, this is a man that started his day eating veggie bacon. But while moral ambiguity is a major topic, there are smaller ones that are worthy of discussion. Abuse of power is one of them.
Won't be any more trouble, I promise you.
Jumping ahead to Season 3, Episode 13's Full Measure episode, Walter finds himself in an even worse problem. After getting into business with the cartel and making one too many errors, Walter stands the risk of being replaced by another chemist. To stop this replacement and save his life, he starts by calling his partners.
Did you do it? Miss White? You're closer than we are. I'll have about a 20-minute lead. They've got me at the laundry and they're going to kill me. Jesse, do it now! Do it! Bitch, do it fast! Do it, Jesse! Do it!
Yup, Walt coerces Jesse to killing the chemist that would replace him. This is the first time that Jesse has ever killed a man who had not tried to kill him first, and Walt used him to grant himself metaphorical immunity. If there is any kind of takeaway from this section, it is this. Desperate times make desperate men willing to do anything to survive. Wait, hold on, what am I supposed to talk about again? Oh, yeah, here we go.
Negra Arroyo.
It's easy money.
Now I'm gonna speed through this part a little because I've already discussed the main duo, but I'll try and represent everyone as equally as I can. Walter White, family man turned drug lord, this egotistical chemist uses whatever and whoever he can get his hands on to further his position, all for his twisted purpose of family. Jesse Pinkman, student turned drug dealer, this downtrodden teen does whatever he can to survive, but often finds himself a tool for greater powers. Walter White among them. Skylar White, wife of Walter, she's a bit of an odd character. On the one hand, she is clearly affected by Walter's absence and secret life. On the other hand, she, similarly to her husband, tries to do whatever she can to get by. Hank Schrader, DEA agent and brother-in-law to Walter, Hank serves as an antagonist for Walt. Throughout the show, Hank tries to figure out who the elusive Heisenberg is, not knowing he may be a lot closer than he realizes. Mike Ermintrout, hired gun and grandparent, similarly to Walter, places family above all. Where he and Walt differ is that Mike picks a path and sticks to his guns, whereas Walt takes those guns and uses them on whoever it takes to be victorious. Now, you'll notice I have yet to mention the major villains of the show, members of the cartel who try and utilize Walt's skills for their own means. This is very intentional, because we're going to have to sit down and talk about. If you were to take a step back and look at the show as a whole, you would tend to notice a bit of a trend. I hate to say it, but the reoccurring idea is white man against the savages of New Mexico. You'll come to realize this when you see that there is hardly any good guy minority representation. Tuco Salamanca, the first major antagonist our dynamic duo faces. On a deeper level, Tuco represents common stereotypes of Latino criminals: hot-headedness, engagement in criminal activity, and reliance on violence to assert dominance.
That's messed up. Okay, Heisenberg. Next week.
Hector Salamanca and the cousins. Head of the Salamanca family and major operator of the cartel, Hector represents a nuanced exploration of Latin family values, particularly authority and loyalty. WordPress puts it best here. As the patriarch of the Salamanca family, Hector embodies a complex blend of traditional values and criminal organization. His portrayal highlights the trope often found in Latinx media, where family loyalty is important and the patriarch's authority is unquestioned. However, it's important to note that while such themes may resonate with certain cultural realities, they also risk perpetuating the stereotypes of Latinx families as hierarchical and bound by rigid codes of conduct. Gustavo Fring. Now, Gustavo is where things get interesting. Gustavo is not a true member of the Salamanca family, but rather a man who joined them later. Why? Revenge. The cartel killed Gus's love interest, Max, and as a result, he joins the cartel so he can rise through the ranks and destroy the cartel within.
Don Hilario está muerto. Sus capos están muertos.
Ustedes no tienen a nadie más por quien pelear. Llenen sus bolsillos o vengan a pelear conmigo y mueran.
In many ways, he is the foil to Walter. Unfortunately, in this world of cold and methodical manipulators, the house always wins. I mentioned representation to display how the show is much deeper than just macho man doing the drug. There are issues within society and government that are put on display within Breaking Bad that I just don't have time to talk about. I implore you, go watch the series for yourself, then watch Better Call Saul, then El Camino, then the documentary, then the interviews, then the plot discussions. There you have it, the significance of Breaking Bad. It may not have a protagonist like Gunsmoke, nor the father-son dynamics of the Andrew Griffith Show. But Breaking Bad is a show that paved the way for covering serious issues in our society, like the human condition, stereotypes, and abuse of power. Or you could say that Jesse is a peak character and that makes the show good. Whatever you prefer.
You like? Ah, yes, it is true, I put that video together myself. Sure. Back before I was initiated, see? But now that you have finished the video, now you're ready to become one of us. Son of a... What?
No, it's a pyramid scheme, dude.
No, they don't know it's a pyramid scheme, dude. Look, I'm gonna say this one last time, and you gotta get in your head. We say we're from Los Pollos Hermanos. They come to us, they give us money, thinking that we're gonna change the world or whatever. And then we get paid for it, and they get nothing. It's perfect. It's a literal pyramid scheme. I don't know what you expect, man. I don't know. Oh, shit.